Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and I can see you guys in the live chat room tonight. Let me shout out a few names. We have Suzanne and Linda, Robert, Cindy, Tammy, Ginny, Zena, Desert, Deluge, Mary V, Marta, Billy, Tammy, Ginny, Bob again, David, Debbie, Evelyn as well, saying hello from a grey day in West Virginia, USA. I think that's what that says. So, hello guys, I hope that the weather's not too bad where you are. It was quite a nice day today here in the UK. It's been a little bit sunny, a little bit cloudy, but for the most part, actually over the last couple of weeks, it's just been raining the whole time. But it is getting a little bit lighter, which is good. In the evenings, a little bit lighter, but just brighter and less wet, which should happen, but doesn't always happen in the summer here in the UK. But let me... first of all, say that as you come through the door, if you could leave a thumbs up, that would be great, because we have a total that we aim for on every single live stream, and I'm going to get started with this early tonight. It's 320. That's where the target is set for Phil Jam number 7, which will be happening later in the live stream if we do hit that target. So, yeah, if we could hit that thumbs up, that would be great. I'll tell you what, let me get the live likes up on screen, and this always happens when we go live. YouTube moves the likeometer from where it was to a new position, so I have to keep on correcting it. And there we go. So it's 129. That is the official count on the likeometer so far. So yeah, a bit of a spike going on there. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. And a big thank you to my patrons who go across the bottom of the screen during the live streams. As regular viewers will know, they make this all possible. So a big thank you to them. You know who you are. Right. What else can I get up on screen? Oh, let's do the donations thing very early on. You don't have to donate, as I always say. Just watching is great. Maybe leaving a comment in the live chat room. Introduce yourself. That's how we roll on these live streams. Just all get to know each other, and I get to know your usernames. Occasionally, I get to see you as well if you upload any pictures to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, because that particular page I get linked to. And that's Laura that links me to the pictures. I then show them on the live stream. I think we have just one picture we're going to be taking a look at later. But yes, the donations tab that I get up on screen. For those of you that can't resist donating, because I know there are a few of you out there, between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and through the PayPal link between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal. And you can find a link in the description below if that's the way you want to do things. But as I said, you don't have to donate. And just quickly on the topic of donations, right at the end of the last live stream, this sometimes happens when I finished and then the live stream finishes, but then the donation comes through after we've finished. And that happened with Oystein, who donated 200 Norwegian kroner. So thank you for that. And the message was, play Angelina Jordan's new song, Love Don't Let Me Go. She's Norwegian but live in LA. Amazing voice. So thank you for that. And unfortunately, with Angelina's videos and the things that I have been asked to look at in the past, there's a very clear message on her videos in the description to not feature them or have her songs or anything, or any of her performances really, on any other channel. So as an independent artist myself and as a musician myself, I'm just respecting those wishes, that unless I do get specific permission to look at something that Angelina has done, then I'm not going to kind of step on any toes, professionally speaking. If somebody has wishes that they say, I don't want you to look at my music or look at any of my performances, then I won't do that. So yeah, that it's just, I know that there have been a lot of requests for Angelina Jordan, but professionally I just don't want to do something that, if I said to people, don't use my videos in any case, and I'd hope that other people wouldn't use them. So I'm just yeah, making sure that that is followed through with and respected above all. So thank you for that donation. Paul donated $2 and said 301k. Yay, spike those likes, all y'all. So thank you for that, Paul. And That's my cue to show this up on screen, even though we showed this in the last live stream, I believe, or was it a week ago? Anyway, it was 300,000 subscribers, and now it's 301,000 subscribers. So thank you everyone for subscribing, hitting that notification bell, hitting the thumbs up, all that cool stuff. And talking about subscribing and hitting the notification bell, I completed my interview last night. It's night my time, but it was afternoon time, where Morris was, and Morris Hayes, who I've mentioned that I was having an interview with. That happened last night, and we spoke for about 2 hours. This always tends to be the case when I do interview type things, that we just talk for a very long time, and it was exactly the same case with Morris last night. We're talking for a couple of hours. I did have to say, after a couple of hours, I said, look, I don't want to take up like all of your day, but I mean, he's such a nice guy that, and he's got so many interesting stories and things that I wanted to know about Prince and how things worked behind the scenes, rehearsals, even playing live, and how things were set up and how Prince would change things at the last minute, which meant that Morris then was really up against it to get something organised literally, minutes before a live performance. Sometimes, in one case, which will make it into the interview video. This is the thing about the interview, because it was so long, I don't know whether it's just going to be one long video, probably not, or I'll cut it up into parts, which I have done in previous interview videos. But yeah, so in one of the parts, Morris will be talking about something that Prince wanted to change. Literally, I'd say minutes before going on TV and performing live. So it wasn't even that they were going out and playing a show. It was actually on TV live, and Prince wanted Morris to now do something different. And, it's quite complicated because it's all about, samples and programming and, triggering. Effectively, if you are a keyboard player or if you're into production, triggering MIDI sounds. That's effectively what was going on. But this was way back before it was just a really common thing, as it is nowadays, where lots of bands play to backing tracks and the drummer has, a click track in their earphones, and you'll generally see in-ear monitors most drummers wearing, if not the full headphones. But nowadays that is normal because obviously technology has moved on and processors have become more powerful in computers, and you can do things on the fly. But back in the day, it all had to be pre-programmed. And yeah, that's really interesting hearing from Morris. And this is why we spoke for so long, because I was really interested in kind of how it all worked and how it worked for him, how it worked for Prince, what he liked to do, and his preferences for, rehearsals and all that kind of stuff. So yes, that video, I'm going to be editing it together this week and aiming for a release on Sunday, at least for kind of part one, however many parts it turns into. So yeah, it's something that I'm going to have to figure out for the rest of the week, what I do videos wise, because I know there's going to be a lot of editing that I've got to do on that particular video, because there's loads of really good stuff in there as well, which is probably, it's good, but a bit of a nightmare for editing to cut the videos down to, maybe 15 or 20 minutes. So yeah, there's lots of good stuff in there. Unfortunately, because Morris is kind of out in the woods, as he described it, it meant that his internet connection sometimes dropped out and, it went a little bit kind of fuzzy, and we lost audio for a little while. So yeah, that might happen in the edit, especially if he's talking about a particular story or event that happened, and there'll be a little section that kind of drops out. But I'll do my best with the edit to make it flow as nicely as possible. But I'll keep you guys in the loop over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, so you know how I'm getting on with the editing, when the video will be out, and what I'm going to be doing this week. Because the problem that I'm going to have is, yesterday obviously I was doing the interview, so I couldn't do my admin. And on Thursday, I'm probably going to be editing. So it means that on Thursday, I'm not going to do admin either. So I'm going to have to maybe figure out, maybe tomorrow I'm going to possibly make that into an admin day and forego the video that we normally do, just to keep on top of things, because I'm a little bit behind with emails. And if you have sent me emails recently, or even over probably like the last week, and I haven't replied yet, it's just because I haven't had an admin day to try and get up to date with all of the messages and all of the emails. So I'm a little bit behind with that. So yeah, I'm going to have to just reorganize my days a little bit just for this week. But the good thing is, fingers crossed, on Sunday we'll have that video, which will be great. I think it's going to be really interesting for you guys to listen to Morris and the stories, but also just to get that insight from behind the scenes of such a, I don't know, such a unique artist, but a standalone artist. Because Prince was just one of those that, you know, did everything himself. And I did say this to Morris in the interview, that for me, he was pretty much as close as you can get to being an independent artist, but back in the days where the internet didn't exist. So you needed to have signed a record deal, and, you know, you needed a team, a media team, to promote you and organize tours. The labels would do all that, and, you know, get into the studio, record. And, you know, the fact that he kind of played all the instruments and produced and just did everything himself. Like I said, it's probably as close to an independent artist. When I say that, what I mean is doing everything yourself now, which you can do on the internet, and you can learn how to produce, and obviously you can learn to play lots of different instruments. I'm not sure everybody does that, but it is something that is open to you if you want to spend time learning how to do lots of different things. But that's what I mean when I say independent artist. Prince certainly was one of those, but just unique, just one of a kind. But anyway, yes, thank you for those 2 donations, or that donation that I missed at the end of the last live stream. And I know that there have been some donations over on PayPal as well. And I think this one from Peter for £16 and 17 pence, I think that came in right at the end of the last live stream as well. So I'm just going to mention that. Thank you for that, Peter. Right, now it's about time that I checked if this comment picker is working, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So let's have a little look through. It just changed, so I'm just going to grab this one, and it is working. So Suzanne said, "Hey Billy." So hey Billy, right, let me get rid of that. I was just checking that it worked to get it on screen, just in case there's a comment that I want to pick out in tonight's live stream a little bit later on. Right, we have a vote going on for tonight's cover video. As always, it is between A Design for Life and Parisian Walkways. So Parisian Walkways, I think that's 55% of the vote so far. So click on either of those songs, whichever one you want to hear my version of. Then, yeah, just have your vote, and we'll see what happens a little bit later on in the live stream. We've just hit 200 likes, which is great, because it means that we need 120 more thumbs up to have the fill jam at the end of the live stream. But it's great because it means that I don't have to do too many mathematical gymnastics in my head. I don't know why I said gymnastics, but I'm trying to think of a different word. Probably calculations would have been a bit more accurate, but mathematical calculations. I don't have to worry about doing too many of those. So 202. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. Right, let me just jump into that PayPal window, because we did have a few donations. After Peter's one, Roseanne donated £5, and this was on Sunday afternoon, so thank you for that, Roseanne. And the message was, "Hi Phil, do you have a personal favourite Elvis Presley song? Thanks and take care." So thank you for that. And I think probably the first Elvis song I don't know, kind of got into or liked, or was something that got a lot of coverage here. Obviously, lots of Elvis songs are played all the time, but for something that made it into the modern day charts, or the current day charts, was a remix of a little less conversation, I think it was, yeah. So that was the, I mean, the remix was really cool, but it's just a cool song anyway. So I have a soft spot for that. But I mean, there's so many, so many. I mean, when I say Elvis songs, obviously, technically, Elvis didn't write them, so they're not kind of really Elvis Presley songs rather than Elvis Presley cover songs. But Hound Dog, of course, I think everybody would say that. Yeah, I'm just thinking. I mean, I'm just going to go with my first choice rather than starting to go through, loads of different songs. Love Me Tender. Did I just say that? I don't think I did. Anyway, let's let's just move on. Maybe that's something that you guys can talk about in the live chat room. Favorite Elvis songs? I know that we say Elvis songs. We'll just keep on saying Elvis songs rather than Elvis cover songs. But maybe you can discuss that in the live chat room. So I mean, that's a discussion that could go on for years. So Suspicious Minds as well. Let me stop naming songs. So you can discuss that, and I can see that Karen just said that's what I was thinking. A little less conversation. So yes, Barbara says blue suede shoes. I was just waiting for the second line to show up there. But blue suede shoes. Of course, we're going to now be getting lots of Elvis tunes going through. Right, I'll leave you guys to it. Corey said Jailhouse Rock. Of course, this is the other thing about Elvis, is that he did something that is great if you are a singer or just an artist in general. I mean, a musician. If you can get on TV, and the great thing that Elvis had is that he kind of had the look, but he also had the ability to get into movies and do the acting thing, and it meant that he then had that stage, not only literally a stage of going out and playing and being played on the radio, but having that stage of performing in front of an audience in a movie. So it means that your face is now on the screen, so it's just extra exposure, especially when you think about the songs that were part of movies, because it's just the perfect business model, really. If you can get your artist in a movie and their song is part of the movie soundtrack, and then you go and release that song or the soundtrack, and then people go out and buy it, it's just one thing just helps the other, and it's really that snowball effect that one thing just really does grow from the other. So Elvis certainly had that. Right, thank you Roseanne for that question, and Lynn has donated £123.45. So thank you, Lynn, for that very kind donation. And the message is keep on keeping on. So I will do my best. Thank you for that. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Jeff donated £7.66. So thank you for that, Jeff. That was yesterday afternoon, and it was a straight-up donation. And Nicole donated £12.39. So thank you for that. And the message is, hi, Phil. I read that the Mexican group, The Warning, came to play in Europe and also in London, ? So soon we will have another video with you and 3 sisters, ? This would be great. Phil, kisses, have a good week. So thank you for that. And yes, this is something that I mentioned in the last live stream, that I don't think I'll be doing an interview with them again, other than kind of meeting up and having a chat with them, just very much like maybe with Steve Stevens when he invited me down to watch, obviously, Billy Idol, but that was at Wembley Arena. Just kind of catching up either after the show or before the show, something like that. It's not going to be something that I can set up an interview or kind of sit down and do my own, just totally take over their show and say, oh, hi guys, so you sit down there, you sit down there, you sit down there, and I'm going to do an interview now and forget everything that you've got planned for the day. So it's just going to be a case of me going to their performance at the end of the month. So yes, I will be there, and like I said in the last live stream, it's something happening in the afternoon. I predict it's going to be something like an event for maybe patrons in the afternoon, or some kind of question and answer thing, and then a performance in the evening where kind of everybody can get involved. And if you don't know about Patreon, as I always say, my patrons are at the bottom of the screen, but Patreon is a site where it's support from the fans financially in order to allow everything to happen. Because, I mean, every project needs some kind of financial foundation to keep on going. So, yes, the warning are on Patreon as well. So it means that your patrons, like the people at the bottom of the screen here, I know the names of, and sometimes, like with the warning, because they're going to be over in the UK, it means that any patrons in the UK can then turn up to an event that is just for them. So the great thing is that over on Patreon, it's a lot fewer numbers. So say, for example, there's a Wings of Pegasus event held maybe over in the USA someday, who knows. It means that the patrons can come down to the event, and yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be an audience in the hundreds rather than the hundreds of thousands, which is the case on YouTube here with 301,000 subscribers. Obviously, you know, that would just be a ridiculous audience, and it doesn't give you that personal interaction with the fans, whereas Patreon does allow for that. So yeah, over on Patreon, as you guys will know, if you are over there, you can message me directly, and I answer the messages every evening. So yeah, it's very much a kind of one-on-one thing for people that want to get involved on a deeper level. But I think it's maybe going to be something like that, or at least that's what I assume it's going to be, or predict it's going to be. So the big event for everybody will be in the evening, and then the Patreon thing will be probably in the afternoon. But I do not know. All I know is that I've been invited down, so I will be there at the end of the month. So thank you for that, Nicole. And Tammy donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. And the message was, hi Phil, if you had to compare the characteristics of your music to an animal, which animal would you choose? Rock. So thank you for that, Tammy. And I mean, I'm just going to choose the most obvious animal for Wings of Pegasus. Well, Pegasus is mythical, so I'm going to say a horse. There you go. That's the only animal that I can compare my music to. And I don't know why it would be like a horse. Maybe because it's... I mean, horses are just deceptively amazing because... You know, they just walk around, they eat, hay and grass, or am I thinking of something else? But I have seen them eat grass before. So they don't have a diet that is like humans need to have a diet high in protein to put on muscle mass. And horses just have the kind of perfect genetic structure where they're not eating loads and loads of meat every day, but they've got just musculature. They're so powerful as animals. Like, you don't want to be caught behind a horse, maybe facing the wrong way, and it decides to kick you, because that could actually be the end of everything. Because, yeah, I mean, when you think about the speed they run as well. But anyway, you just look at the musculature on a horse. It's like mightily impressive. It's like they've been hitting the gym you know, every day of their lives, but they haven't been. It's just, yeah, a very impressive animal. So anyway, there you go. That's what I would say, a horse. But not that I've ever ridden a horse. I'm not sure that I would, just in case it did decide, I don't want you on my back anymore, so I'm going to chuck you off, because it's quite a high height. Quite a high height to get thrown off, so it's not particularly something that I want to do. So I'm quite happy maybe just feeding a horse and, you know, giving it, a carrot. I think they eat carrots. Apples, do they eat apples? I don't know. I'm sure I just take lots and lots of different foods and offer it to the horse, and whatever it chooses, then at least I've got it covered. All the other foods it probably doesn't like. So thank you for that, Tammy. As you can tell, I'm not an expert in horses, but that's what I would choose if I had to compare my music to an animal. So Elizabeth has donated £10.71 as well. Thank you for that. And that is a straight up donation. And Karen has donated £3.83. So thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, congrats on hitting 301,000 subscribers. I look forward to watching your interview with Morris. Have you ever analysed Hanoi Rocks? They were very 1980s hair metal with blues, I believe. Thanks for the music and the positivity you bring. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And no, I haven't yet. But, I mean, if there's a particular video performance just send it my way and I'll put it on the request list. That is a very long list indeed, but I'll put it on there nonetheless so that I will get to it at some point. It might be like maybe 2028 or something, considering how long the request list is, but yeah, I'll get there at some point in the future. But thank you for that donation. Right, we are up to date with everything in that PayPal window. So we've had a donation from Colleen for $10 in the super chat window as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, what is that acoustic guitar behind you? So it depends which one you're talking about. The one kind of there, oh, that's quite a good point. That's a Maton acoustic guitar, so it's Australian made, and that was sent to me by Mario, as viewer or long-time viewers will remember. And Mario also sent me the Steve Vai gem, which is just there behind the microphone, so you can't see it. And on this side, that's the Mugabe guitar that I was sent as well by Mugabe, and I did a video on that, like a review, but also kind of what it does and how, yeah, it does so many different things. So you can check out that video on the channel if you want to, because I obviously explain a lot more about what it is, if that is the guitar that you are referring to over there. But thank you, Colleen, for that $10 donation. Right, let's get organised with the live stream. I always say this and then I'm never quite that organised. But let's have a look at the likes goal to see where we're at. Oh, one more like and it'll still make it a little bit easier for me to work out. But then again, at the moment, it'll be what, 71? So we're looking for 71 more likes. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already, it would be much appreciated. Now we're looking for 70. So yes, we have until probably about, I was going to say 1 a.m. It's not 1 a.m. anymore. It's midnight, or about 1:15 midnight. It's now 32 minutes past 11 here in the UK on a Tuesday night. The new live streams are officially on the day that I say they are. So it is a Tuesday night live stream. And we have a little bit of time left. So maybe if we can get a spike of the likes, that would be fantastic. So moving on to the requests for tonight. I'm not sure whether, we haven't seen a fill tune in a few live streams, I think, but they always get requested over on Patreon. And of course, thank you guys for requesting the videos that we started with, Unwanted Stranger, which you can check out if you want over at wingsofpegasus.com/music to get taken straight through to the music page, and you can download my music there if you want to from my album called Persistence. But thank you guys for requesting songs over there and requesting the covers so that we can have the vote on the live streams. And as you can see, 56%, or if you're looking at the top of the chat room, 56% of the vote is at the moment for Parisian Walkways. So that is it. I'm just seeing, oh, Karen says, believe me, Phil, you're more organised than me and probably more so than other people. So thank you for that. I do try to keep organised. I think that the problem that I have is there are so many things going on that, I haven't got it here, but I've got it in another room, a whiteboard. So what's happening here? This is like magic. Can you, oh, you can't see it. No, this is something, there's, oh, you can't see. Maybe you can see the line here, but this is actually my, oh, and then it fell down. It was this tassel from my hoodie was caught and held onto a hair that was on my, it's a shame that it's kind of too black, because that would have been like a magic trick, because it was actually floating up here in the air. So it's like a David Blaine thing, and everyone will say, oh, how did he do it? And I just say, well, yeah, unfortunately, having lots of hair, sometimes it's all over your clothes and that kind of thing can happen, but better there than in the mouth, which has happened before on live streams. Because yes, talking worst case scenario, a hair isn't connected, it goes in your mouth and you breathe in. That's just end of live stream if that were ever to happen. I don't think that has happened yet. All that's happened is one's gone in my mouth, but it has been connected so they can kind of get it out of your mouth. These are just long hair problems. that people with long hair only understand. So hopefully some people will be able to empathise in the live chat room. So anyway, yeah, there's a bit of magic, impromptu magic, but it wasn't really magic at all. So I know that there have been a couple more donations in the PayPal window, so thank you for those. And I know that everyone waits for a bit of hair talk, so there it is. That is the hair talk done for tonight. Hopefully, if there are any other hair situations, that will be probably a downturn in the live stream, because it means I would have had a hair in my mouth or something. So fingers crossed, that is the hair talk for tonight. But let's get back into the PayPal window, because Michael donated £2. Thank you for that, Michael. And the message is, just for the t-shirt from one fan to another. So thank you for that, Michael. And yeah, we have a Star Wars shirt on tonight. I don't usually wear the... well, I didn't used to wear the Star Wars shirt. It's just always on the days when it's kind of rotating. I think sometimes in the analysis videos they popped up. But then sometimes if it was cold, I'd have my hoodie zipped up. And when I say cold, I don't mean like really, really cold. But colder than is comfortable to just, you know, have it unzipped. Anyway, it means that sometimes you can see the Star Wars. Sometimes if it's zipped up a little bit, then you can't see it and I might actually have it on. So anyway, there it is. Yeah, a little bit of Star Wars for tonight. I'll show it all. It's actually quite a good shirt, because you won't be able to see it, but it's got all of the characters on there and they make up the Star Wars logo. So with my nephews, I was testing them as to who was who, and I think they got everyone. I'm not sure they got Chewbacca, but I think it's because they couldn't really tell in the wording where Chewbacca was. So anyway, yeah, but it's good for my nephews too, because my nephews are into Star Wars and Harry Potter and all the things that kids are into, because my 3 nephews, I mean, one of them's 6 and the twins are 8. So yeah, they're into all that kind of stuff, which is handy because I'm into all that kind of stuff as well, even though I'm a lot older. But yeah, so wearing Star Wars t-shirts, of course, they wanted to name all of the characters that they could see. And I'm wondering if they got Obi-Wan Kenobi. Maybe not. I'm not sure. So anyway, that's it. And I can't even remember. I think there's actually quite a few on this t-shirt. I don't think literally every character is there from every film, because that'd be impossible. But yeah, thankfully, it's a good shirt for them to get interacting with, because sometimes having nephews of that age, they're running around going crazy, and just to get them to stop and do something where they're trying to figure things out is good, because you get a little bit of respite just for maybe a minute or two. Anyway, thank you for that, Michael. And Ed donated £20, so thank you for that, Ed. And that is a straight up donation, so thank you guys for those donations over on PayPal. Right, I kind of interrupted myself when I was going to Patreon to see if a Phil Toon got requested. And yes, Teresa and Tammy requesting a Phil Toon. And let's scroll up a little bit. We've got the Phil Jam requested, of course. And did I just say Tammy requested a Phil Toon? Yeah. Anyway, there are requests over there. So thank you for the requests. Maybe we'll jump into a Phil Toon, then a picture, then the cover, then maybe the Phil Jam if we make it. Right, that is something that I've just invented. I've just invented a schedule, which is something that I don't normally do on the live streams. It's pretty much, we just realise how late it's getting and I just press the buttons to play all the videos. But, oh, by the way, Orlando just donated $2 saying spike the likes. So thank you for that, Orlando. Great idea. Hit that thumbs up. We're looking for 35, 34 likes. Not sure if that is right. Hopefully it is, but we're aiming for 320. We are on 286 now. So if you could hit that thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated. And a Briggs has donated $4.99, and this looks like a lemon man waving, sitting down on a seat, and it looks like he's got an apple friend or something, or maybe a lime Maybe it's a lemon and a lime. I don't know. It's a little bit small to see clearly the picture, but thank you for that donation. Right, let's jump into a fill tune. As to which one, I do not know. Oh, I think the basis got requested a few live streams ago. So we're going to have a look at that one because I don't think one in particular was requested. Just a broad request to watch a fill tune. So we'll have a little look at this, the bassist audition, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Okay, well, thanks for coming down to the audition today. Do you mind if we slag you off behind your back while we discuss your audition?
That's okay, I'll randomly walk in this direction.
What the actual heck was that? Okay, let's start with the negative points.
Well, his image is laughable and totally unsuitable. He can't keep time. His bass looks like he found it in a skip. And he was late.
Unbelievably, even though he was absolute total guff. He is the best we've seen, and we've been auditioning for a year. So what the ruddy frig shall we do?
As much as it pains me to say it, I think we'll have to give him the gig, bite the bullet and get on with it.
This is total guff shine.
Hello again. Before you tell me your decision, I thought I would say, I want this more than anything in the world. I'll do whatever it takes.
Well, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you've got the gig. You are now our new bassist.
Holy heck guys, thanks a lot. This means the world to me, you will not regret it.
Well, straight to business. We have a rehearsal on Wednesday night 7 until 10 before the gig on Saturday.
Can't do Wednesday?
Why not?
Me and the missus usually go to the corner shop that evening.
Okay, no problem. We'll just move the rehearsal to Thursday.
Can't do Thursday?
Is there any day at any time before Saturday that you can do?
No.
Hang on, is the gig this Saturday?
Yes, it is this Saturday as I have been telling you for the last 3 weeks.
I can't do it. I'm working this Saturday, and I definitely can't get out of it, for sure.
Are you actually having a joke with me? As you have just realized it is this Saturday, I know for a fact you have not called in to see if someone will cover your shift.
I didn't think of it like that, but now you say it, it makes sense.
Well, considering it is a great venue and fantastic opportunity for us as a band. Do you want to call your work just in case?
Well, I suppose I could actually thinking about it.
Well, ruddy guffing do it then, you freaking bum guff.
Hello, it's me. I doubt anyone will, and don't worry if you can't. But will you or anyone else cover my shift on Saturday?
So, what did they say?
They said they didn't want to cover my shift. It sounded like they were slagging me off and laughing in the background. So it's a dead end.
Well, at least you got across the importance of getting Saturday night off.
Now the problem is, I can't fake illness because they know I want Saturday night off. Ruddy, hell.
I seriously cannot believe your incompetence. Okay, give me your phone. Hello, I'm calling on behalf of my guffing idiot of a friend. Yes, that's him. He has an important night on Saturday. Can he swap his shift? That's great, thanks for doing that. I'm actually amazed at how easy that was to organize, many thanks. There you are. You now have Saturday off, so you can now do the gig. How you could not organize that is beyond me. Unbelievable.
Just thinking about it, actually, I can't do Saturday.
What? There. Actual. Frig. Please excuse me. I just have to go outside quickly and shout something.
And there we have it, one of my real life stories, something that actually happened in my music past. Right, so I did see in the live chat room somebody said, what about the cover video? But I invented a schedule a few minutes ago for tonight's live stream, saying that we'd look at a cartoon, then look at the picture. So we will jump into picture corner now, look at the picture, and then we'll jump into the cover video after that. So just quickly, there's a donation that came through from Green Fairy 61537 for $5, so thank you for that. And it's the same lemon person next to the maybe lime person, and the good thing is they're actually synchronized with the lemon person above, doing almost like a dance move. So thank you for that. And Orlando donated $2 again, thank you for that. The message is, what is a skip? So a skip, I mean, it could be a couple of things. I'm assuming you don't mean just skipping a rope where you have to jump over something, and that's called skipping. So you skip over a rope. A skip in, I don't know whether, they must not have them in the USA, but if you're doing any kind of building work and you've got a house that you're destroying, and you might have loads of bricks, and sometimes even if you're redoing a garden and you're digging up loads of soil and all that kind of stuff, you have a skip, which is like a huge container. It's not really a container because it's not covered. It's just like a huge container that's kind of open to the elements, but is probably about, I don't know, 5 feet in height, and I don't know how wide, quite wide, probably maybe, I don't know the width of it, maybe about 6 foot or something, but it's very long, so it's like the length of a car, or sometimes longer than that. So once you fill up all of that, skip with lots of different stuff, obviously it's really heavy. So what happens is you have a company that provide the skip, but then when they come to pick it up, it's on like a crane. So because of the weight of it, they have to lift it up, put it on the back of the truck, and then take away all of the rubbish from the house that they might be building, or garden that might be being dug up and repurposed, and making it look all fancy. So it's just a huge container where you put everything that comes from doing quite a big job, and you'll tend to find on building sites, especially people just having an extension to their house, for example, they will have a skip that is at the front of the house, and generally they'll have a little ramp that goes up to it, and they'll just be emptying wheelbarrows worth of stuff and bricks and things into it. So that is what a skip is. And we had another donation from Steve over on PayPal, so thank you for this. And the message is, in which movie series would you like to have played / appeared? Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, other. So I'd say probably first choice would have been Lord of the Rings, and well, I guess for Lord of the Rings, minimal time in makeup, because I could have been certainly maybe someone from Rohan. Harry Potter again. I mean, Harry Potter's hair did get a little, borderline kind of 70s, when I can't remember which film it was, but maybe the third or fourth one where he had a bit of longer hair, obviously not this long. So I might have been I could have maybe been a rock and roll version of Snape or something. But anyway, so I would then say Harry Potter would have been cool. Star Wars, of course. As for Star Wars, I think I'd probably need some kind of makeup, hair and makeup and stuff, because I'm not sure just looking like a 70s or 80s person works particularly in those movies. But those, if I had to choose the order, it'll probably go in that order, maybe. Definitely Lord of the Rings first. That would be my choice. And then the other ones maybe I could debate or think about a little bit more. But thank you for that, Steve. Right, getting into the picture that we're going to look at. And Orlando's donated $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is Ginny White says Winger is playing in Manchester. So thank you for that. And yes, I did hear about this, I think a few months ago, something like that. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm so busy at the moment that I don't have time to... Well, this week, as you guys know, is literally I'm trying to find extra days that actually don't exist. So I'm going to have to move things around to try and keep up with everything. But yes, unfortunately, I don't have time. I won't have time to go and see Winger. But I am a big Winger fan, and I've seen them quite a lot in the past. Before I was ridiculously busy, as I am now. So yeah, I mean, that'd be cool to go and see Winger. I mean, at some point, I don't know how it would come about, but it'd be great at some point if I had a chat with Kip on the channel. Maybe that's something for the future, but we'll just see what happens. I'm not really particularly into kind of messaging people and saying, oh, can you come on my channel and all that, those kinds of things, or getting in touch with management and doing all that. I pretty much just chat with people that have watched my channel, like with Morris, who was talking about my channel in a separate interview, and I happened to get linked to it, and then we started talking from that. So it wasn't kind of me approaching him. Same with Steve Stevens. He watched the channel and got in touch on Instagram, and yeah, same with everyone really. Shirley as well, Shirley Lewis had seen the channel and got in touch. So if somebody gets in touch with me and they watch the channel, I usually say to them, if they've been part of the performance that I've been looking at, then I say, do you want to join me on the channel? And I think there's a lot more natural way to do it, rather than when you start going down the route of personally messaging management and all that kind of stuff. It's not really I think what I'm about as a musician and as somebody who likes to talk about music. It would be like booking somebody for an interview rather than already having conversations with people and saying, oh, do you want to come on the channel and talk what we're talking about, but on film and I can put it in a video, because it's a much more natural way of doing it, rather than having a guest on the channel who you don't know at all, and you're just literally meeting them there for the first time ever, and you haven't had any real correspondence. You've just been going through a management company. Yeah, that would be a little bit different. So yeah, I prefer doing the interview videos because there's already a kind of rapport with the person, because you've been talking to them outside of the channel. So yeah, that's the way that I enjoy doing the interviews. But yeah, maybe that happened at some point, and maybe if I start chatting with Kip, then he can come on the channel. That would be great. But we'll just keep on doing what we do. Again, we never know what's going to happen in the future. We just keep on pushing forward and see what happens. Right, let's get into this picture. Before I forget, let's jump into Picture Corner. Listen out for the elevator music. And just one picture for tonight, I do believe. So hopefully this is still going to work. Fingers crossed. Let's see. And I think it has started up, which is good. And tonight's only picture in Picture Corner is coming from Bob, who has uploaded this one. Thank you for this, Bob. And Bob is modelling the Wings of Pegasus t-shirt, as well as the Wings of Pegasus mug. And there we have it. If you guys want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, click on the tray underneath this video. If you don't have a tray underneath this video, never fear, there's a link in the description below, so you guys can click on that. It'll take you through to the spring.com store, where we have the hoodies and the mugs and the tumblers and the t-shirts and all the other stuff. So check that out if you do get a chance. But thank you for uploading that one, Bob, and to Laura for linking me to it. And that is tonight's Picture Corner. Over and done with. Short but sweet. Okay, let's move into tonight's cover video. I'm going to end the poll. It might be the case it looked like it was Parisian Walkways. So let's have a look. And I can see going through. Parisian Walkways has 55% of the vote. So thank you guys for voting and for requesting this over on Patreon. I hope you guys enjoy my version of it. And I'll see you after. Rock. I recall that you were mine on those Parisian days. Looking back at the photographs, those summer days spent outside corner cafes. Ooh, I could write you paragraphs about my old Parisian days. And there we have it. That was my version of the Gary Moore classic, Parisian Walkways. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Right, so I can see that we have hit the target for tonight's Phil Jam number 7. We are at 350 likes at the moment, so if you're watching this on catch up, you can still hit that thumbs up. It really helps this live stream to get out there a little bit more, but for the channel to grow on the whole. So we are up to number 7, and thanks to Joe, by the way, for messaging me over on Patreon with the list. And I mean, just kind of any message is great, but also updating as to which ones I've done, which ones I haven't done, because sometimes on Patreon, because as I've already mentioned, you guys can message me directly over there, so my inbox is usually quite full, and when you get a new message, it pushes down the previous message, so it means that if you get kind of 5 or 10 or 15 messages, I have to kind of scroll down 15 messages to find the original one. So just kind of bumping it up to the top every now and again is very useful, because for these fill jams, it means that I can grab the track a little bit more quickly or more efficiently. So yes, I think, am I, having said that, let me go back and just wait for it to load to make sure that it is all fine. A bit of news. I said before when we did the Phil Jam, I don't know which number it was, maybe number 5. I don't think it was the last one. Anyway, I used my amp, my other amp, but the other amp was a bit far away, so then I couldn't hear it very well, but I think I kind of got away with it. But I did have my wah wah pedal, which is just part of the foot switches for that particular amp. So it's got, you know, a pedal that you can also use to turn the volume up and turn the volume down, but then obviously you click it and you get the wah wah pedal. But I thought in order to have the wah wah option for the fill jams that I'd buy a new wah wah pedal, which I ordered today because unfortunately my previous Crybaby, which is, if you don't know what it is, that's a wah wah pedal, probably the most famous and well-known make of it. But anyway, yeah, unfortunately my one of those, I mean, it is very old. I don't know when I got that, maybe when I was 19 or something. So yeah, over 20 years old. It's, yeah, given up. So I've ordered another wah wah pedal, actually not a Crybaby, but more of a compact unit. So we'll be maybe getting into that in the future on fill jams. I have the option of using a wah wah pedal without having to use my amp and kind of setting it all up, because it's a little bit of a pain, to be honest, to have that functionality. But what I do have for the moment is the auto wah setting on the amp, which we might kind of jump to for this particular jam, but I don't know what we're going to be doing. Let's have a look. Okay, so I can see this is going to be 5 minutes and 52. Oh, I just clicked on the back button and now it's gone to an advert. Right, let me mute the advert, play the video. I accidentally clicked on the backwards button, so I think it went to another track. So I think this is the one that we're supposed to be doing, because then I clicked forwards as well. I have to sit through. Okay, right, here we go. It is, oh, this is one of those videos that's part of a playlist. And this is going to be a backing track in 11/8, time signature 11/8, sad progressive ballad, backing track C minor. So we will give this a go and see what we can see. And oh, this is, by the way, I mean, it's, oh, okay. Move my bottle out of the way so I can actually see underneath the playlist what this video is actually called. And yes, it is 11/8, sad progressive ballad, backing track C minor, and this is from Quist, Quist, Q-U-I-S-T. So you guys can check this out independently if you want to have a little jam along. So yeah, we're going to be having a slightly different time signature here, but we'll busk our way through it and see what happens. So let's give this a go. Okay, and this is Quist playing along. Okay, we're fading out. And this is only about 5 minutes, this one. You have to let me know if you can hear it. So if you can let me know, that would be good. Okay, so you can hear it, which is good, excellent. Oh, cheer up! Thank you for that, Barbara! So you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can see it now. This is only 5 minutes, so I'll get into it. When this is going to end. Okay, that's it. It's one of those ones that just fades out, so we don't actually get an ending to it, and I can't really fade out on the guitar unless I'm kind of I just suddenly turn off my guitar, which just isn't going to sound good. You can never do that. Nobody ever does that, and there's a reason why. So yeah, impossible to fade out, but there we go. That was a bit of a chilled out kind of jam and backing track, and yeah, not too much going on. I think just a few chord changes just repeated over and over again. So it was quite interesting. We had we kind of, yeah, just had a semitone rundown at some point, which I fortunately did grab onto rather than being caught out by it every time. So anyway, thank you for that. Yeah, very short jam for tonight. Thank you, Joe, for linking me to that backing track, and that is Fill Jam number 7 done and dusted. So number 8, whatever it is, we will do next time. Right, and oh, we've had a few more donations, so thank you for this. Vince donated $5. Thank you for that. The message is, Phil, Richard Kilgo asked what pedal you used for distortion in Parisian Walkways. So this was just my Line 6 HD150 Spider 3 HD150 amp, and I think the thing that people mostly refer to in comments and messages that I get about it is the sustain. They say, oh, which sustain pedal did you use? I didn't use a sustain pedal. I just used feedback, which is when you stand at a particular angle in front of your amp and you start that feedback loop. So it means whichever note you're holding, it will go on forever. Like in that song, if I wanted to just stand there and have the note go on forever, it would have done, because it was feedback, it wasn't sustain. Because yeah, my Fender that I played it on doesn't have lots of sustain. The notes die out pretty quickly. So yeah, the only way of me getting that note was just to know where to stand and which angle to get with my guitar. And yeah, that's what that is. So it's not no particular pedal at all. It's just getting that feedback going. It takes quite a lot of practice in order to know the angle of your guitar and where you need to be. But yeah, if you kind of just experiment with it, you'll be able to find it. You do need to have the amp quite loud. That's the only thing that I would say, that when you're playing at a really quiet volume, you're not going to get feedback. It's got to be loud enough so that the guitar's effectively hearing the amp through its pickups. So, and you're getting that frequency resonating, and then just starts to, you know, I think people maybe know feedback more from a PA system when somebody's about to talk into it and it does that really high pitched screeching, and sometimes it starts the screeching and then it kind of goes into, and you'll just get a tone that is just feedback, and no matter what you do, you can't stop it. And you know, that's just basically the microphone is setting up a feedback loop with the speakers. So the microphone is being, whatever you're saying into the microphone is getting amplified by the speaker, but then the frequency of the speaker is going back into the microphone. So it then starts to take over itself. Just this same frequency will go microphone, amp, and it just keeps on going in and out. So yeah, the only way to get rid of that is to obviously turn down the volume so that it can't kind of hear the frequency anymore, or turn the speakers away from the mic so that it's not, you know, hitting the microphone directly. But anyway, yeah, enough about that. But that's what you're effectively doing with your guitar, is getting feedback. So yeah, it wasn't any pedal in particular. But thank you, Paul, as well, who donated $2 and says, did we do a plug of the mug yet? Spike those likes. I did while we were looking at the picture of Bob. But here we go again. There's a plug of the mug. Let's see how they get on. And there we have it. So yeah. Link in the description below for the spring.com store. If you want to get the merch, if you've got a tray underneath this video, you can click on any item and that'll take you through to there. And then take a picture of yourself, upload it to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group on Facebook, and then Laura will link me to it and then I can show you on a live stream. Orlando donated $2 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, what effect are you using? Is it a pedal? So no, this is just my Fender Mustang LT25 amp, which is just down here, which you can see. And it's just got presets in it, so whatever I happen to be having played on last, it will generally be. I very rarely kind of go through lots of different sounds, as long as it's, I mean, this has got I think the delay and auto wire on it. But the things about this is that I can clean it up a little bit, or open the tabs, and then you can hear the delay. There's reverb on there as well. You might be able to hear that little wah going on in the background as well. So yeah, I mean, this is okay because you can be quite aggressive with it, take off a little bit of volume and clean it up, but you still get obviously the delay on there, the reverb. So yeah, I don't generally, especially on this little practice amp, I don't kind of go through them making up all my own ones and store them. I just kind of pick a preset and just see what happens with it. But they all sound pretty good, which is great. And especially kind of using the Fender Strat with the Fender Mustang LT25, obviously they are made for each other. So yeah, generally you'll get a really nice sound from the amp when using the Fender Strat. And especially, yeah, down at the kind of lower end of that kind of. You kind of get a lot of body on that, on the bottom end, which is nice. You know, it's a sound that I definitely like. If I was then to turn it, you can hear how it's now obviously focusing on the higher frequencies. If I now go down to my neck pickup, hopefully you can hear the difference between the and between those two. Anyway, yeah, but cool sound because they work very well together. So thank you for that, Orlando, and we are going to be calling things to a close now. So we are going to be finishing for tonight. I can see that Ginny said it is like hearing cats. Maybe that's the kind of wah wah sound, but yes, so this has got the auto wah on the sound, so it's automatically changing at, I think, just a particular speed, as if I was opening and closing a wah wah pedal. So that's why I have purchased a wah wah pedal, so that I can control it a little bit more rather than being a preset, but it still sounds pretty good. Right, so we're going to be calling things to a close. Thank you guys for tuning in, hitting that thumbs up as well. You can keep on doing that if you are part of the catch up crew. Right, now as for when I'm going to be back with another video, I'm not sure, because I mean the big video for this week or start of next week, well technically, yeah, the weekend, Sunday, so technically the start of next week, but yeah, in not so many days time, that's going to be the big video, is on Sunday for my interview with Maurice Hayes. I'm going to be editing that together, and yeah, make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you get notified for when that video drops, as they say, on Sunday, because yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one, and certainly an interview that I found very interesting myself, just asking about just everything Prince and what he was like, and just finding out about all of his preferences, all that kind of stuff. So look out for that on Sunday. As for the analysis videos, yeah, I'm not sure with the editing and the admin how I'm going to be able to fit that all in, but I'll let you guys know over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, so that yeah, you'll know exactly what's going on. So I will be live streaming, of course, on Saturday night. The live streams will be continuing pretty much no matter what. So hopefully if you are free then, I can see you guys then as well, because I will be there. So have a great rest of your week. Try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live in. And yeah, I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!